What is going on, guys? VenomousFatman here, ShippedItToYou.com, Out Loud Media. We're at Florida Supercon. Got some special guests to talk to. Please check it out. I am with...
Hi, I'm Jeffrey Breslauer, the voice of the Joker at Six Flags.
Hi, I'm Harrison Biswai. I portray the role of Terry McGinnis in the online films Batman Beyond Ultimate Vengeance and Batman Beyond 2 Orchestrated Crisis, and I also produce and wrote the screenplay.
Awesome. So, we're at Florida Supercon. You guys, you obviously got a booth, got a bunch of stuff to display. If you guys can get a quick shot of it, you know, what's going through your guys' heads? What's new? What's happening?
Well, let's see. What's new? You can view Doctor Who, A Survivor's Triangle on YouTube. I play the Master, which is great. I love playing the Master. It's wonderful. I get to torture the Doctor, torture the companion, blow up some buildings, and at the end, it's Miller time. I love it. Worked on the Joker in Batman Beyond 2 Orchestrated Crisis. So I get to terrorize Commissioner Barbara Gordon and terrorize Terry McGinnis right here.
We wouldn't have it any other way.
Yes, and I'm the voice of the Joker at Six Flags across America at the Batman stunt shows.
Awesome.
And I've done various other acting gigs. I was in Matinee with John Goodman. Did The Adventures of Superboy with Gerard Christopher, Noel Neal, and Jack Larson, who, if you remember, were Jimmy Olsen and Lois Lane in the George Reeves TV show, The Adventures of Superman.
Awesome.
Got to work with Jim Henson and the Muppets. In fact, that's Jim Henson manipulating Ralph the dog right there. Got to work on Police Academy 5 over there. I was one of the Dream Finders with Figment over at Epcot.
Cool.
Worked on a movie called Dead End. It's a zombie movie that stars Linnea Quigley, Debbie Rochon, and Nicola Fiore. And you can also hear some of my audio work. I've done audiobooks. I have 10 audiobooks to my name. 3 of them that I'm most proud of are the cheese books, Cheese Runners, Cheese Rustlers, and Cheese Lords, all written by Chris Jackson. I do the narration, and I give each character a different voice. Picture this. Aliens have conquered the known galaxy, and the only thing that they are addicted to is cheese, which is only found on Earth because that's where cows come from. So instead of gun running or drug running, it's cheese running.
That's hilarious.
It's a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you know, what is like the most satisfaction? What's the thing that gives you the most satisfaction from doing the different projects that you've been a part of? You know, is it the acting? Is it meeting the different people? Or just creating something for fans to love? Like, what is it exactly that does it for you?
Well, in acting, it depends on the project. You try to choose projects that you have a passion for. With the Master, with the Joker, with so far just about anything I've done, I have a passion for it. I'm a big fan of the characters, big fan of the projects. I get to work with people who I respect and admire. Working with Jim Henson was one of the greatest things that ever happened to me. I did a play in Jacksonville, Florida, at the Alhambra Dinner Theater with Frank Gorshin. He was also one of my heroes, and I got to work with him. It's also one of the greatest things that ever happened to me. So it's working with the people, doing the projects, learning the characters, having the characters interact with each other. How do they relate? And learning as we go.
Cool.
Because at the end of Breaking Legs, which was the name of the show we did, nobody wanted the show to close. So we wound up taking it to San Diego back in '96.
San Diego Comic-Con. Or just San Diego?
Just San Diego.
Okay. All right, cool. So now, let me go over to you. Let me ask you. Since you're at this convention, obviously, you've been to plenty of conventions before, correct? Okay, what is the one thing, or what is something that, you know, gets you excited about a convention every time you go?
It's people. It really is. Everyone says, well, it's the celebrities, it's the... No, it's the people. I think you could take... I've been to conventions where it's been, you know, some big names and nothing really happened. And I've been to some conventions, you know, and people have just come up to me, you know, surprisingly, like, who am I? And they're like, oh, I love the Batman Beyond, or I love the Survivor's Triangle. It's really the people and the fans that are excited about it. They work on these amazing costumes and this great makeup, and then really show that they have a passion for this. If it wasn't for the fans, and if it wasn't for people who like this, I'd have no reason to make a Batman Beyond film or a Doctor Who film. It's always the people. Because like I said, I've seen it both ways, where it's been, you've had some heavy names, you've had not so big names, but if you don't have a crowd that comes here and shows their appreciation, their love, and their passion for what you do, there's really no purpose for any of that, and you'd be really nowhere without the fans.
So, you worked on a Doctor Who project, you worked on a Batman project, obviously you're a fan of both of those IPs. Was it usually, when you were creating those projects, was it because normally that, you didn't like what you saw in something of the previous thing? Because obviously, being a fan, you have criticisms, you want things that you want to happen in the story. So was it like your opportunity to change things up or add, what you think should go on within what happens to the character? Or is it something different?
It's a very good question, and I'm really glad you brought that up, because I can't speak for every fan filmmaker and why they do this. And like you said before, a lot of it is personal opinion. The reason why, Batman Beyond and Doctor Who came to fruition for two separate reasons. For Doctor Who, it was all John Reed Adams. It was his love to play the character. It may have been his only chance to play the character, and I felt that I could give him what he wanted. And they only get 13 episodes a year. Geez, that's not enough. So why not one more? As far as Batman Beyond was concerned, that was more of an event where I had run into Michael Uslan, and I heard about the 2000 film that was supposedly directed by Boaz Yankin and written by Paul Dini, and for whatever reason that film never got off the ground. And I asked him personally, I said, what if I can prove to you this is worth showing? Because the one sin that Batman Beyond created while it was a placeholder for the Batman films was it was a success, because it did so well and became an Emmy Award winner, built a fan base, and everybody loved it. So I didn't want to see the film up and die, and I wanted to prove to him, which, I hand-delivered the copy to him, and now we can't wait for the new one. Of course, I know a lot of fans are like, well, when is the second movie coming out? Well, you're getting an official first. We got some information about plot material dealing with The Dark Knight Rises, and because our film is a little too similar, as far as certain things, we have to hold off on our film, and then when The Dark Knight Rises comes out and becomes a colossal success that we know it's going to be, then we're going to release our film, and you'll see, aha, that's where it all connects.
Well, that's kind of a little, saddening, because, you guys, you're ready to go on your project, but, I understand.
It's that. It's also the fact that these films we want to keep challenging ourselves. We don't want to just keep giving the same thing. We wanted bigger visual effects, bigger fight scenes, so we're still in post-production getting everything ready. But like I said, when we found out that The Dark Knight Rises had some connecting storylines, we said, well, we need to wait, which is fine, because everybody hears those horror stories about the big corporation crushing little guy. I will go on record to say that Warner Brothers has been nothing but wonderful to us as far as doing Batman. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the fans and Warner Brothers. They've been nothing but supportive, so we're going to show our respect until The Dark Knight Rises comes out and succeeds. But going back to the original question, the reason why I do the fan films personally, somebody like John wants to play Doctor Who. Someone like me, Terry McGinnis was one of my dream roles. But it's also the fact that if I didn't do it, it'd never be done. But the reason why anyone should do a fan film is that it's the only way it's going to get seen, and it's another calling card to showcase your talent. It's to expose new talent, like what happened with Mortal Kombat, like what happened with The Gods of Men, Star Trek, and countless other fan films. If you're not doing it for the reason to show your talent and to do something that can't be done, you're kind of wasting everyone's time. And that's why we do it.
All right, that's great, guys. So you guys got a lot on your plate, a whole bunch of stuff to do. Thanks again for the interview. It was a pleasure talking to both of you.
Thank you.
I wish you both the best of luck.
Thank you.
I will be back with some more coverage from Florida Supercon. I will talk to you all again soon. Peace out. Stay epic, everybody.
Well.